We love our
We're gonna start
celeb.
playing YMCA whenever we're just done. Yeah.
I is that what he played?
Do you want to take a break? He played some other weird song, and then at the end, he played YMCA. I know,
Hmm.
I sat through way too much of it, but it was just so weird.
It
Really
wasn't.
weird.
It was pretty odd. That's for sure. Yeah, it's true. But
It was like at this plane crash or car crash, you couldn't look away.
yeah, he has that effect.
Pick a vehicle. Honestly, it was really, really strange.
He is a an interesting guy. He's what I've really seen in him, and I think I know we're kind of in the mad dash to the election. So those who say, "Gosh, you talk about Trump all the time," yeah, well, because the election is so close now, I think you are allowed to speak about Trump and Kamala Harris and the back and forth between them and where we are in the state of the race. Excuse me.
Hmm.
You're allowed right now. But what I was going to say is it strikes me the more I watch him, two things strike me. A, he's become even more extreme in those things he says. And he says them with an unapologetic tone and with an unapologetic propaganda laden speech pattern. That is to say, talking about rapists and coming from the asylums. And I mean, that which he says is just laden with all of these explosive kinds of references like that. But he's also fundamentally, I think, and this is what he's always been, Donald Trump is an entertainer. He's a performer. He's always tried to build his brand. He's always been a hack businessman, a poor businessman, multiple bankruptcies. Bankruptcies can be a strategic move. But when you take thriving businesses and you run them into the side of a mountain, the way Donald Trump has, over and over again, one has to question your business acumen. You really notice how little he understands about business when he speaks before economic forums, when he's actually engaged in any kind of back and forth about the markets. He knows nothing. It's all just a show. So he likes those things when he's on the stump that let him sort of play the crowd, do the back and forth. He has a little crowd work he does in everything, and then he plays for the applause line, and he'll say whatever. And so when you talk about what he was doing in terms of stopping the showdown and all this kind of thing, it's just all part of the raucousness that is associated with his events. And I think we've seen it time and time again. Now, the interesting thing is, America, I guess, is up for a show. It's that Johnny Lang song, "Lie to Me, Go Ahead and Lie to Me." And Trump makes the statements up, meaning makes up statistics. I heard him talking to the Chicago Economic Forum today about the trade deficit. I'm thinking, dude, you're absolutely making these things up. And any kind of statistic he pulls is fictional. So anyway, the more I watch him, just the more I think he is just the entertainer.
It's weird because the things he said within just the last week, I almost think it's self-sabotage in a way. He goes to Detroit and he insults the city before the people that of the Detroit, right? Okay? He goes to California and says, "I'm not giving you any wildfire aid," before the fine people of California. He's ramped up the name calling. It's almost like, I don't know if the stress is getting to him. I don't know what's happening, but it's like it's almost like watching a self implosion.
Yeah, I could. There he is. This is the.
This is
This
the
is when he
weird
was just doing
dancing.
his dancing or whatever. Yeah. Well, we can't play the music because we'll get copyright strikes. But I mean, all right, I take your point. The reason I'm halting at all is, in the case of the California thing, let me try. I hate to always do this, guys, but
That's
let
the
me just.
weirdest thing.
I try to be fair a little bit. So let me take the devil's advocate position, okay? If you go to San Francisco, which I'm going to be doing in a couple of hours, and you talk to the people of San Francisco and you say, we're going to clean the city up. It's a dump. The crime is out of control. It's really gotten beyond any kind of acceptable limit. A lot of people in San Francisco are going to agree with you. All right. So when Trump says, I'm going to make Newsom do this, or I'm going to take away his fire money, I think he's talking to a crowd that is sort of on his side. After all, they've shown up at his rally. And when he's in Detroit and he insults Detroit, maybe there are a bunch of Detroiters who think, yeah, the city needs to be cleaned up more. You know, I don't know, but I guess what I'm trying to say is just because he's...
No.
It's absolutely not out of any politician's playbook to insult the city that you're in. Don't get me wrong, okay? But I'm just trying to
Here's the thing with taking away wildfire money. He's standing in Coachella Valley in Southern California in an area where it doesn't matter whether, he was referencing cesspools of Los Angeles and San Francisco, but he's taking away, allegedly, fire money from Republicans, people that voted.
Yeah, Kim dropped out a little bit, but I get it. He's taking that money away from people who voted for him, from people who live in California. He's hurting the whole state. He's not just hurting the libs.
He's hurting his own voters, and he's hurting people in regions that are affected by wildfires.
I'll accept that. I'll accept that. I don't think he's threatening both states. If you don't vote for me, you're going to have problems. Dancer said, I think he's threatening both states. If you don't vote for me, you're going to... Well, yeah. Well, he's all about threats now. That's right. If the Jews don't put me in, let's blame the Jews. If the Californians don't put him in, let's blame the Californians. If the blacks, you blacks, I've been better for you than if Biden or this is the truth. Ricky is it'll be very, very dangerous when he loses only 1-0.
That's true.
Brandon says if Biden or Harris dance like that at a rally, the right would say they are demented. When does it? It's like your great grandpa dancing at a party. He's not good, but you cheer him on. When he does it, it's like your great grandpa dancing at a party. Yeah, look, if Kamala Harris had pulled out of the 60 Minutes debate, you'd still be hearing about how she pulled out of it. Okay, if Kamala Harris only did friendly conversations and interviews, you'd only hear more and more in the way of derision about Kamala Harris and the interviews she chooses. There is a quality of letting the right get away with a lot.
If Kamala Harris had said, we just need one rough hour, up the American people, send in the military after the American people. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I mean, she'd be gone. What is it about him that we let him get away with and it's getting wilder and wilder and wilder? I don't understand.
This from Maud. I don't know. We can vet this. Although I don't see any reason she would. Early voting results are from Florida, and Dems are ahead as of today. Is that right? Go Villages, she says. That's my favorite part of it.
I thought that across the country we didn't start counting until Election Day.
That's my thinking too. Yeah, they don't start counting. It's just that's just not the way it works.
Unless they took exit polls from I don't know.
Yeah. On Fox News, get her butt on Fox for the tough question, says Edward Lee. Do you have, Albert, that thing I sent you from Brett Baier on Fox News? He was just, this is not so much instructional in the sense that there are no real revelations here, but they do, in Fox land, they are peacocking about the fact that they have the Kamala Harris sit down. Do you have it, Albert? I sent it to you. Go ahead. Here's a little bit of it. Brett Baier being interviewed on Fox News.
Good morning. You listen to a lot of those podcasts.
I do.
Dana.
I'm an enthusiast. It keeps me sharp.
Yeah, it took a long time, the back and forth of the campaign. I've obviously asked, a lot of us have, for interviews. I was also asking about a debate that we were trying to have, a final closing arguments.
Stop for a second, Albert. Stop for a second.
Said,
I just have to say, Brett
Baier
looks like a cartoon character, if you had to draw it, of an Anchorman. He is unbelievably
well cast.
Jagged jaw, perfect Superman hair. It's unreal. It did not hit me until just now. You'll forgive me for commenting on it. But if you were literally drawing a cartoon picture of an animated anchorman. This is the stereotypical anchorman who you would draw. Now, Albert, please.
Philadelphia, and I could have a sit down. So the time is roughly 25 minutes, 25 to 30 minutes. We were trying to do it live, but they gave us the time 5 p.m. Eastern time. As you know, my show starts at 6. So we're doing it pre-tape, but wanted to wait until we got the commercial structure. So now we do, thanks to the folks above. We are going to run it uninterrupted, unedited, all the way, maybe 30 minutes, the first part of a special report, and then we'll have a panel discussion about it afterwards. So that's how it came about. It's been a long time in the making, and I'm in the making of how it's going to be structured.
Yeah, I'm
right,
curious.
So there you have it, and then they're all talking. Well, maybe you can get her to come by the 5. That's how the rest of that conversation went. Yeah, Johnny Bravo. Thank you, No Contendo. That's exactly it. He looks like Johnny Bravo. God, that's a great call. Perfect. Florida counts all of its ballots on Election Day, while it can take weeks in California.
Yeah. But so just to let you know, I don't know where the information came that the votes are being counted already, but I don't think that's true.
Yeah, that just doesn't happen anywhere. But yes, thank you, Ricky O'Bear. Hit the thumbs up button and then subscribe to the show if you would. Thank you for being here. I mean, we love everybody, those who are new. We've come from a talk radio station, very popular talk radio station that went away as a result of a broadcast conglomerate that got rid of it. And we're here on our home platform live every day, 2 to 4 in the East, 11 to 1 in the West. And we're available as a podcast on iHeartRadio, on the Spotify platform, on Apple Podcasts, all of the different places where you hear it just as an audio, if you want it here as an audio offering only. Lucy McAllister, my favorite McAllister is true. Kim's name is McAllister. A lot of people feel as though
Kim, how are you?
When I say Lucy's my favorite, that I'm comparing the two of them. And I am. Thank you. Yes. And Lucy is my favorite. And thank you for a $9.99 super sticker. A late day. Congrats and many thanks to a day late. Yeah, because we are at our 2-year anniversary yesterday. Nutritionist Liz says, a day late. Congrats and many thanks to my favorite YouTube show. That's kind of a big deal, as I don't have a TV. In my heart, this is 100 times more.
That's so
That's
nice.
so great. Well, thank you very much. And
I love that.
Nutritionist Liz,
big shout out,
the official nutritionist of this show, reaching us. We are nothing if not a monument to nutrition on this show. No Contendo says, Steve Chung gone. I called this weeks ago, saying heads would roll with 45 outsourcing to Elon, causing internal strife, definitely infighting and campaign issues. This is true. Kim might have it in her news, but there is a question particularly about the ground game when it comes to Trump. And the ground game, as you know, is very important. Some may say, I mean, again, this is in the old school / contemporary world of politics, meaning I still think it's a contemporary concern, but it's sort of an old school way of thinking that the ground game at this stage of a campaign is critical, getting your vote out. And the Democrats, it's thought, have a really good ground game, Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. The Trump ground game, less established, certainly, and more of a question mark. And Elon Musk and his people are handling all of that. That led to a lot of strife within Trump land as Trump sidled up to Elon Musk, and that explains some of the turmoil in the Trump campaign today. So there's that.
Hi, it's Mark, and I thought that was great. Hit the notification bell. You'll know whenever there's a new video being dropped, and please subscribe to our channel to help us save the universe.